Hey everyone, Josh here, and today I want to talk about something other than toys, but it is Star Wars, of course. I want to talk about the movies, specifically extended cuts of the movies. Now, I'm online a lot looking at other people's YouTube channels and websites and stuff talking about Star Wars, and one thing I don't see a lot of talk about is an extended cut of the Star Wars movies. Now, any good Star Wars fan has this box set. This is, of course, the first six movies of the saga in on Blu-ray. This is the box set that has them all, and it's great. I love it. It has a lot of extra features. But what I want to talk about today is this. And I know this is bad to have on a Star Wars channel, but this is the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings Extended Edition. And what this is, and I really love it when filmmakers do this, they go the extra mile, but when Peter Jackson was finished with the Lord of the Rings movies, after he released a normal theatrical cut on DVD several months later, he released this version. And if you're not familiar with what this is an extended cut. And so if you watch this, it has all the what would have been deleted scenes. They're put back into the movie, and there's an extended cut. And so this thing has about somewhere between, I'm not sure the exact amount, but it's somewhere around 30 to 40 minutes of extra film time. And it makes the movie very long. And I know some people don't like that. They think that there's a limit to how long movies should be, and it seems to be somewhere around 2.5 hours. My personal opinion, I disagree with that. I'll watch a 4-hour movie. I'll watch a 5-hour movie if they make it. But it seems to me film companies, they usually stop around 2.5 hours. If you're lucky, you'll get a 3-hour movie in an extended cut. And now if you go get the other two movies in this trilogy, they have extended cuts of those. And one of them adds like an hour onto the Two Towers. I believe that adds almost an hour in length. And if you get Return of the King, I think it adds almost an hour and a half. I don't remember the exact amount. You'd have to go look it up for yourselves. But I think this is a great idea. I wish this is a trend that would start picking up in Hollywood, especially with the big franchises like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Well, of course, Lord of the Rings did it. And I commend them for that, because then the serious fans get something like this that they can really sink their teeth into. And I know not everybody wants to sit down for a 3.5 hour or 4-hour movie, but some of us do. And I'm one of those people who would. So to those of you out there in the world, well, another example before we go even further is this. Now, I'm also a big fan of the superhero franchise movies, and as you know, this came out last year. This is Batman vs. Superman. And one of the things Zack Snyder did when he was finished, of course, you can go out and buy the theatrical version on DVD, but I went out and bought the extended cut that has almost 30 extra minutes on it. And I love it. I want the extra stuff. As a fan of these kind of movies, I want this stuff. And I know not everybody does, but if you don't stop the rest of us from having access to it. Don't complain about it. Just, I think it's a great idea, and I wish it's a trend that would pick up for the people who control these franchises. Now, I have a very small soapbox with my YouTube channel. Not very many people are watching it, but since I do have a soapbox and I can get on it and I can scream as loud as I want, what I want to say to the people out there in the fan community, the people out there at Lucasfilm, the decision makers at Lucasfilm, the decision makers at Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, if you hear me, which I doubt you do, please get us an extended editions of the Star Wars movies. Now, if you go online right now, or go on to YouTube right now, and you search for Star Wars deleted scenes, you can find almost all of them. I know Lucasfilm doesn't like that they're out, but somehow they have leaked out, and you can find every deleted scene, I think, that is out there for the old trilogy and for the prequel trilogy, the original and the prequel. And I mean, there's scenes out there from Return of the Jedi I've seen where they actually show Luke working on his lightsaber before he puts it into R2, before they go into Jabba's palace. Wouldn't you love to see that cleaned up, finished, special effects added to it, and put back into the movie? And have heard some people talk about, well, you can't put the deleted scenes back in because it changes canon. Okay, well, let's leave those ones out. If it's going to change canon, leave it out. That's fine. But if it's not going to change canon, why not put it in? Have you ever seen the deleted scene? If you go on YouTube, search for this one. There's a deleted scene of the Wampas getting into the Hoth base in Empire Strikes Back and attacking a bunch of snow troopers. And yes, they did it with a big puppet hand and it looks horrible, but they could go in with CGI now, fix that up, make a Wampa come in and tear up a bunch of snow troopers. That would be awesome. But for some reason, Lucasfilm absolutely refuses to release or not release them, because I know some of them are on here, and like I said, you can find them on YouTube. But I would love to see Lucasfilm make extended cuts of all 6 movies, plus the new trilogy they're working on now. Wouldn't you love to see an extended cut of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi when it comes out on DVD? I would. And I mean, if it was 3.5 hours long, I think that's great. I'd love a 3.5 hour Star Wars movie, but it's just an idea I'm throwing out there. I haven't heard a lot of Star Wars fans talking about it, and I think it's a great idea. Another scene, like they recently, remember they put the Jabba the Hutt scene back in A New Hope, episode 4, back when it was released as a special edition. Well, imagine they just did more of that. For example, if you go out and look on YouTube for other deleted scenes, there's actually a deleted scene. Remember in A New Hope, at the end of the movie, before right when they're getting ready to assault the Death Star and they're all getting in their X-Wings, and Luke runs into Biggs again. Everyone knows who Biggs is, right? And he runs into his childhood friend Biggs, and they start, oh, you won't believe that he starts telling him that I've been on a great adventure and blah, blah, blah. Well, that doesn't make sense because it's not in context, because there's a deleted scene out there of him that happens at the beginning of the movie before Luke gets the droids, before any of that happens. And it's Luke hanging out with Biggs and some of his friends at a local tavern, and Biggs starts telling him how I'm going to run off and I'm going to join the rebellion. And it's don't tell anyone, it's a big secret. But what if that was all put back in, music was applied, special effects were applied? That's all I'm asking for. As a Star Wars fan, Lucasfilm, Disney, all of you, please, decision makers at Lucasfilm, give us an extended cut. That's what I want as a fan, just personally. That's me on my soapbox, and hey, added benefit, you'll probably put a lot of money in the bank if you do it. Think about it. You could have all 6 of these movies re-released, extended cuts. Think how many copies you'd sell, so I know I'd buy them. But that's all I wanted to say, guys. I wanted to talk about extended cuts. It's something I would love to see start to pick up in the franchise movies. Looks like Warner Brothers is doing it a little bit. And even Disney, you could do this with your Marvel franchises. You can have your theatrical cuts that are the appropriate size for general audiences, but then for the super hardcore fans, because we're out here, you could have the extended cuts with all the deleted scenes put back in. You could even intentionally shoot them in advance while you're filming the movie. Right now with the Han Solo movie, Ron Howard, you could be filming a bunch of extra footage that you're not going to put out in the theaters, but then when you come ready for the extended release, you could make a 3.5 hour Han Solo movie. Who wouldn't love that? I would. So, all right, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to ramble on for too long. I can already see I'm almost at 10 minutes on this. But I just wanted to put my thoughts out there and I wanted to get the dialogue started in the Star Wars fan community. What do you think? Should there be extended cuts of the Star Wars movies? I think there should be. What do you think? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.